Have you heard about our series on the ABCs of putting? Today's our third episode. We're going to work on the letter C for consistency. Now, when I talk about consistency, we're kind of talking about how consistent are you being in A, just your overall practice, and B, consistency in starting a exact same setup every single time, working on certain aspects of the stroke. If you're not stroking it down the line, how are you being consistent so you're going to get out of those bad habits and start forming good consistent habits? So my recommendation for you, get yourself a Delta Putt. You can find them at deltaputt.com. Everybody should have one because that will help with your consistency, because there's no excuse why you shouldn't be practicing at least 10 putts a day, whether it's out on your deck, whether it's out in your living room, or at the golf course where you've laid the Delta Putt out on the green. So I've got the Delta Putt here on my front deck. It's relatively smooth. It's a little bumpy, but doesn't matter. This is going to give you instant feedback on what you're doing in your stroke. So I'm going to go through my normal setup routine here. I like to square the putter face first. Then I like to take my stance. Okay, so I'll adjust my feet based to 90 degrees of my face angle. If you need to give it just a little bit of waggle, you'll just eventually, you do this enough, your brain will just lock in and say, yeah, right there, that is perfect. Okay, so I'll go ahead and make a stroke. And what this just told me right here, I'm not really looking for speed at this time, but the back of the ball was right down my center line. That's my intended line. I got a little bit of front point rotation left, which would mean that I was just a fraction closed on my face angle at impact. I wasn't this close. This system exaggerates a little bit the farther it glides down the mat. But if I just stand here and were to take, 3 or 4 different putts, okay, that one I kind of overcorrected, got a little bit open. But every stroke you take with the Delta Putt is going to give you that feedback. And what you want to look for is consistency. Am I staying down my intended line every single time? That's going to be your stroke path. Stroke path straight down your line, or inside out would be coming from, closest to your feet outside, and outside in would be the opposite. If you're consistently staying down the line, that's what you want. The lead point is going to either track straight down the line. That would be a perfect face angle at impact. If it rotates a little bit to the right, that would be open. Rotates to the left, that would be a little bit closed. And that, of course, is for a right-handed golfer, and all you lefties out there know what to do. So on that stuff. But overall, whether you're rolling golf balls out on the golf course, whether you've got a mat that you use at home, or you're just rolling it on carpet, it's a lot of times it's difficult. If you miss it right or you miss it left, your mind is like, well, what caused that? Was my face open, or was my stroke path coming inside out that forced that ball to miss it right of the hole or left of the hole, whatever that might be? The Delta Putt clears a lot of that up instantly. You can see what you did, by how the puck reacts, and then you can make little adjustments to see if you can get it back on a good, consistent stroke path and face angle. Whereas with the golf ball, I like to say that, putting with the golf ball tells you whether you made it or missed it. The Delta Putt tells you why. And again, there's no excuse, because you can use this anytime, anywhere. So if you want to check out the Delta Putt, go to our deltaputt.com. That'll give you more information around there. You can see all the details of what you get with it. And most importantly, wherever you're practicing, really, really focus on being consistent with that practice, from setup, literally from the way you're gripping it to setup and everything in between. Work on that consistency, and when you get out to the golf course and you're actually playing around, that will translate. I mean, it'll carry over, and you should see results. The more you practice, the more consistent you are, the better the results are going to be. If you like this video, we'd love to see a thumbs up, or better yet, subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to check out our other social medias, we've got a newsletter. You can check that out in the description box below. But most important thing, consistency, consistency, consistency. And glad you were watching, and cheers to great putting.